Hello, my stellar stars. Welcome back to another show. I really appreciate y'all tuning in. Today we are going to talk about body positivity, and we're going to get into it, some struggles with body dysmorphia, some struggles with just not feeling comfortable in your own skin. And I've got a very special tarot spread for you, and I'm going to begin to
shuffle the cards.
I'll let you into a little bit of my mindset right now. For some reason, my computer just decided to stop recording and just turn off, even though it was at 60%. So that's kind of where I'm at now. But we're just going to let that tower crumble and move on with life, Speaking of the tower, when it comes to body positivity, I feel like to radicalize yourself out of, societal norms and like some societal kind of toxic poisons, it is necessary to, kind of start reteaching you some things and to see bodies and people that look more like you or look different from what the media is going to show you. I think it's really important to know that, the media is trying to sell you something. They're trying to sell you an ideal. When they put a really beautiful person up that fits a certain standard on screen, it's to kind of say, like, if you use the product, you'll look like this, which is a total fallacy. After a while, we don't really want to subscribe to fallacies in our life. We want to radicalize ourselves. We want to experience radical self-love and love ourselves no matter what we look like or if our bodies change or anything like that. I think the Tower is a perfect card for anytime you want to start a journey of self-love, because it includes like breaking down a lot of those barriers and a lot of those thought processes that you had before and that you've learned over time. It's kind of just about realizing like, this foundation is not as steady as I thought it was. I would also say spirituality really helps because it's more of a focus on who you are inside versus the kind of vessel that is your body, And I've just found that spirituality really helps. If you are struggling with thoughts about your weight every day, thoughts about how you look every day, if it makes you feel like you can't go out without having mascara on, or you can't go out if you look a certain way, I would suggest heading to therapy, because it definitely will help you a therapist will help you break down those structures that you've kind of set for yourself in your mind that like, I can only go outside if I XYZ. You definitely don't want to be in that headspace alone. And there's no reason to be. We all have those unfortunate thoughts. Most of us do have negative thoughts about ourselves like that. So I would say, if that feels like you, I would seek help. I don't have a lot of advice when it comes to this kind of stuff because it is still something that I'm working through. And it's definitely a battle that I feel like I'm winning. But, I have body dysmorphia every day. I have those thoughts every day. I don't really know what I look like. It's kind of hard to explain, but I don't really know what I look like when it comes to like my body width and my face. I will imagine that I look completely different than I actually do, and then I'll have to sometimes I have to go literally look in the mirror to kind of know what I look like, because my idea of myself is completely different than what I actually look like. Kind of living in a murky, illusionary body image life. That's my life with body image. This spread is going to be enlightening. As I said before, I just did a spread and it went really, really well. We're going to use the I Am Beautiful spread that I just made, I believe, yesterday. And this is in, the fun of the Libra full moon, being in touch with our inner Venus. all of us have that Venus planet somewhere inside of ourselves. So that self-love, that motherly, maternal love, having that for yourself. Let's go ahead and get into
This parade.
So we start with the card that is, I am my own beautiful. And, you can work these in as an affirmation too, to say to yourself, like, and kind of envision in the mirror, seeing yourself and liking what you see. So that's kind of how that affirmation would work in your life. And this is kind of a card to reveal, like, all right, maybe I'm carrying some baggage or a worldview that doesn't quite fit me anymore. And this is kind of a card that presents two paths to you. You can either take the path that's like, all right, I'm going to continue following this worldview because it helps me in some way or reason. Or I'm going to leave it behind if it's really not serving you anymore and it's just become baggage for you to kind of carry. And that would be the Ace of Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles, aces are full of potential. You can think of them as a seed too. You can see a lot of yellow in there. So yellow pertains to, our own sense of knowledge, outward knowledge that we've obtained, as well as inward knowledge. So wisdom, street skills, stuff like that. So I'm seeing a ton of yellow here. It looks literally like a little, like almost like a seed. So we'll go ahead and read what our Ace of Pentacles has to say in this starting point. Opportunities are abundantly available to you, especially in the material world. Manifestations are taking form in the financial realm, and you're planting the seeds for further growth. The earth is fertile, bringing forth fresh energy, new assets, and good fortune. You're rich, not just financially, but in your relationships, career, and family. Ideas are brewing with potential and possibilities for the future, and you are attracting resources for your new venture. Use common sense and practicality to expand your growth and make real-world impact. So having, maybe a focus on other things in your life, right? Some other things that are going great for you other than continuing to kind of manifest and harbor this kind of toxic mindset about yourself. That's where I'm seeing the Ace of Pentacles, is that you are a robust person that's full of energy, that's full of life, full of opportunities that are in front of you. And maybe, you're keeping yourself back a little bit. Realize that you do have a space in this world, and it's not just a space to feel like you need to look different. There might be pathways to happiness and pathways to new joy that you're not taking advantage of because you're focused on your thought processes that are hurting you more than helping you. This is definitely a call to focus on other positive parts of your life, which there's an abundance of if you really try to look for them and try to see them. They are in front of you, and I would take advantage of this right now to kind of get your mind off of those mindsets that might be hurting you more than helping you. So we are starting at a place of full potential, a lot of brightness, a lot of that knowledge that is inside of yourself and also outside of yourself. This might also be a call to use those outer resources, like telling a friend how you've been thinking about yourself, telling a significant other, reach out to a therapist and maybe book a therapy appointment, even if it's, not going to be next week or it's a little bit far away. I would definitely take this time to also look for some outer resources for yourself. The next card is called I Deserve Light and Love. So this card is about how to continue on your path, where the Ace of Pentacles was about where you're starting from, kind of what do I need to focus on. This is definitely the card that's going to be my boyfriend is in the window.
Hi, honey.
You can come in.
You can come in if you want.
This next one is more about how do I continue on this path of self-love and continue to kind of aim towards growth. And that would be the Five of Pentacles flipped. And I did draw her flipped, but I will go ahead and flip her right side up just for your viewing. So whenever we talk about fives, they connect to death and judgment. So death is, that card that's about cycles in life and the power of cycles and how endings can actually bring renewal. And judgment is kind of like a final call for you to realize something or for you to take up a thought process. So we did draw her flipped. We're going to see what this Five of Pentacles has to say to us. And we've got a lot of pentacles. We got a lot of that earth energy going into this time in your life. So I always see pentacles as definitely a blessing. Sometimes with money, right? Because they can also represent coins, but it can also be like values that you hold dear to yourself, relationships that you hold dear, things like that. The Five of Pentacles reversed is a sign that the hardship you've encountered is coming to an end. You are on your way to generating a new source of income, whether it be a new job or passive income. You're able to get back on your feet and be independent once again. This test of character shows you that you are able to survive through the tough times and come through strong on the other side. Everything is temporary. So these thoughts that you're having, the way that you look, this change that you may be going through in life is temporary. You will not always think these thoughts about yourself. You will not always struggle with your self-image or with self-love, especially if you're starting the journey. And if you're starting to realize like there's other things that I can focus on, there are boundaries that I can set with myself. This is definitely a call to say like, you may be experiencing a darker time in your life, or you may be experiencing a dark place in your mind, but this will not last forever. And perseverance is key. Just keeping your eye on the prize and knowing that, self-acceptance and self-love leads to enlightenment of yourself and leads to more opportunities in the future that you'll feel more confident taking. I do see that there's a ton of indigo, and that could mark that this may be a dark place inside of yourself. You may be feeling as if you're searching in deeper memories. So going back to childhood, going back to moments where maybe you have been bullied, or there might be a figure in your life, like a maternal or paternal figure that has struggled with body image as well. This might be calling to some deeper issues inside of yourself. This may not feel like a roadblock, but I want to tell you that it is. It's just a roadblock in life, and everything is temporary. This moment will also pass, and any like inner kind of trauma or pain that you're going through right now, it is temporary. And it is a block in the road. And it might help you to think of it that way too. Like maybe that'll make it smaller and more compartmentalized than it feels right now. It might feel a little more like this big indigo mountain, when really it's just a hill that is a little hard to get up. But at some point you will get up that hill, and going down will be much smoother. So that's your second card on how to continue your path a little bit. I'm seeing pentacles. So, these are usually forms of blessings that come to you and things that you hold dear, your valuables and your valuable relationships. Lots of potential for opportunities here. And then this next card is called something like What's Inside of Me, I Reflect Outwards. It's basically about the love that is coming back to you, that you have sent out into the world. I like to think of this as the card that tells you like, why is it worth it to start my journey of self-love? Why is it worth it to love myself and to learn how to love myself and to accept myself? This is the card that kind of tells you the reward that you're going to get after the hard journey ahead. And that would be the Two of Pentacles. And twos are a lot about the Hermit and the High Priestess. So the Hermit is the one that stays inside. He uses more of his like internal tools to kind of guide him on his journey. And the High Priestess has already done that journey. She's already spent time inside, and she's ready to go out boisterous and excitable into the world and kind of share herself with other people. And she can also be seen as a mystic or as a tarot reader. Seeing a ton of like that clear blue in this card, a lot of emerald green. So we've got a lot of stability, and that clear blue is kind of like the clear blue that's inside of yourself. Lots of like good potential here. And we've got another pentacle, so some more earth energy. So we'll go ahead and read what this 2 has to say. The business of busyness is keeping you all tied up. Paying bills on time and managing finances have taken a backseat to handling all the other activities going on in your life. It is time to get organized. Keep a schedule and commit to it, blocking out activities to focus on all areas, not just work and getting ahead. Constant striving may have left you neglecting your relationships and manage day-to-day affairs, which could cost you your relationships in the long run. Overcommitment eventually creates chaos when you don't carve out enough time for yourself. Distractions keep you away from focusing on what is important to you. Spend your energy wisely. So I know this might seem like a weird card to get here, but I would say that this is a lot about just like you're going to achieve balance in some kind of way. So this card is talking about having an imbalance between like your work life, what you have to do, your bills, your relationships, everything's kind of in this imbalance, and this card is asking you to get more balanced, focus up, and kind of conceptualize your time and your environment in a different way. What I think this is saying about your journey is that at the end of the road, you're going to know how to do this. You're going to feel a balance within yourself when it comes to who you are inside, who you project outwards, and also like how you see yourself. All of this is going to have a balance, and it's going to bring more opportunities for joy and success for you in the future. So I would say that this is saying that, you know, at some point you're going to achieve more of an internal balance within yourself, and that is what you're ultimately striving for. That's why it's ultimately worth it to go through this very tough roadblock in your life where you might be dealing with that childhood trauma, you might be dealing with some feelings of pain to get to a place where you are more balanced. So I would say these cards have really good advice. Believe in your potential and maybe focus more on your potential and then on other things other than how you look, and realize that there may be some opportunities available to you, but if you stay stuck in your mindset, you might not see them in front of you. This may be a hard time that you're going to go through, but ultimately it's going to lead to balance in all parts of your life, happiness in all parts of your life, and you know, who doesn't want that kind of balance? So I definitely see that this is on the road to really great things. And that was your reading. I really thank all of you for tuning in and listening a little bit about my body positivity journey and the advice that the cards had to give. If you want to go ahead and give me just a little subscribe, I would love to see you around next week and for the videos that I make in the future. I want to thank my patrons, Heidi and Ted, Luke and Lucas. Thank you so much for your continued support, and anyone who wants to become a patron, you have basically exclusive content, exclusive tarot, fun and shenanigans. Thank you for sticking around, and thank you for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.